Another quarterback change, even though back to lock. What did you see, I guess, from Boyle on Sunday?
Boyle did a nice job stepping in, minimal reps. It's a tip of the cap to him for just being prepared, being ready, and then was meticulous with his notes, with his studying and his prep, and I thought he did a nice job out there.
This has been 2 years in a row with the carousel of quarterbacks and the injuries and whatnot. What is that like as somebody who coaches the position and obviously an offense to navigate through that?
Yeah, I think it's part of the business. It's part of football. Really, it happens in every position, whether it's offensive line, whether it's receiver. Those things happen. So you just got to be really prepared and making sure we're staying on top of not just the starters, but we're prepping the backups, prepping those guys that are kind of 2, 3, 4 down the line. It's part of our development program with getting young players that are maybe practice squad guys, so getting those guys up to date and up to speed. So that's really just part of being a coach, and they happen. It's unfortunate. You obviously don't want those type of things to happen, but when they do, you got to work through it.
As a coach and a player in this league for a while, have you seen 2 years in a row like this? No.
It's probably a first for me going through that. As a coach, as a player, probably not to this extent, but having some injuries for sure. You've been around it, but yeah, it's probably different for as a coach.
What have you learned about yourself as a coach having to go through that?
Yeah, just maintaining flexibility and being able to adjust, on the fly and come up with solutions. I think, when things like this, anytime adversity hits, you want to be a problem solver. Not a guy that just complains about stuff. So that's the kind of approach that I take, is to try to be a problem solver and put the best of our players in the best position to be successful.
What were your impressions of Michael Penix during the pre-draft process?
Yeah, he's an impressive kid. He has all the pass ability, and he's a lot more athletic than you think. I think he had those injuries in his past, but I think he went out and ran a 4.4, in his pro day. So, we liked him. We liked him coming out. He's a talented player.
What was your role in that process? Obviously, I'm sure Dave was kind of leading it from the coaching angle, but what was your role in that whole QB process?
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with him as far as evaluating. Going on those trips, visiting the guys that we saw in person, whether it's QBs or other position groups. I'm in that role.
What did you make? I guess, following up on that quarterback class as a whole and the way they've since performed in the league to start their seasons.
Say it again?
You've made of that group as a whole and how they've performed in the NFL to start their rookie career.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't studied them, every single guy, unless we end up playing them. Obviously, there's certain guys that are having a lot of success. We've seen Jaden and all those guys. So I've certainly have seen it and heard about it, but I haven't studied them.
When you look at the Falcons' defense, what are the major concerns?
Oh, that's okay. I don't know if you're finished there. I got you. So I think they do a really good job getting the football out. Those safeties do a hell of a job punching at the football. I think they have multiplicity in their scheme, whether it's showing too high, getting to one high. They like to disguise. Up front, they got a lot of really talented players and try to make it really difficult in the run game. So we got a bunch of challenges across the board that we're just gonna have to really put together a good plan. And I think we have a really good plan, and we're gonna go out there and practice it today.
In all the adversity you guys have faced, last year, but certainly this year is even worse now. With regard to Dave's, what have you noticed about him and the way he's handled this in front of the team, in front of you guys, the assistants and whatnot? What are some of the things you've taken away?
Yeah, no, I think Dave's handled it really well. And I think the personality of the football team is, what your head coach is. And I think he's been steady, he's been confident, he's been poised. And these things, whether it's adversity hits or the successful things that we've had done, whenever that hits, he's kind of stayed the same guy and tried to build as much as we can. And he's done a great job taking some of these young players under his wing and making sure they're performing well. They're in a good spot mentally, and you're seeing that. You're seeing the production for some of those young guys.
Mike, you're the assistant head coach, not just the offensive coordinator. So I ask, from a storyline standpoint, one of the things to this game is Giants are trying to avoid becoming the first Giants team ever to lose 10 in a row. It's tied for the longest loser. Is that anything you can use in your position to rally guys, a source of pride, anything like that? Or is that we can't even mention that to guys because it's negativity?
I don't really buy into the storyline part of it, but I know that our guys are working their tail off. They're trying to do the things right. Coaches were detailing all the work that needs to be done. And I think, when you just focus on this week, because that's really all that matters, those are the things that we're talking about, the details, the execution. And then we get an opportunity to practice our third down and red zone stuff together. So big time situational football. And so that's really all our focus is. None of that, the storylines and stuff like that. And that's all my focus is too.
Time for a couple more if you have them.
I guess you guys haven't enjoyed a win in it's been since Seattle, right? Since that flight home. So, what's it like to go that long? I'm sure it's the first time.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Northwestern. I don't know. But.
Yeah, I think you try to enjoy the process. With the guys in the meeting rooms on game day, making the adjustments, and the results will come. And so you got to believe that part of it. And I think we do, and it's been tough. Those things have been tough. That's in the past. What can we control today? And that's our mentality. That's our mindset. That's how we're going to approach practice.